watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining us here at 6 a.m. I'm Chris Groh.
And I'm Netta Irampour. Glad you're starting off your Monday morning with us on this Memorial Day. I know we have a lot of visitors in San Diego. Thanks for visiting us. We're glad to have you here. Looking at our skies right now, we are noticing, of course, the cloud coverage that's out there, this over Mission Bay. Check out this view, San Miguel. I know not the most beautiful view to show you, but it does show you that marine layer is out. And it's pretty expansive from our coast all the way to our mountains. So as far as your headlines for today, yes, it will be sunny and warm this afternoon. In fact, even warmer than yesterday. Low 70s for the coast, mid 70s inland. And by the end of the week, temperatures will move on up even more, especially Thursday, Friday. High pressure comes through. But we do have the marine layer each morning with the possibility of drizzle, especially tomorrow.
And this morning, one of the 6 people killed in the Tierra Santa plane crash will be honored. Martial Arts Gym, the training center, will hold a memorial for San Diego resident Dominic Damien from 10 a.m. to noon.
You see the pictures of the other victims here. They've all been identified. 42-year-old David Shapiro, 39-year-old Daniel Williams, 25-year-old Emma Huke, 24-year-old Kendall Fortner, and 36-year-old Celine Marie Rose Kenyon. Meantime, the cleanup efforts do continue in the neighborhood. In fact, several streets in the area just reopened.
Yeah, some families are just now returning home. Others are still displaced. As CBS 8's Alex Lai reports, the nightmare is far from over for many.
Still my home. I pay to live here. The things inside are still mine.
Waiting to be escorted back to her home to get some belongings was Regina Beaker. She stood feet from where a plane crashed on her street, trapping her and her 3 daughters inside while her husband was deployed.
First of all, how are you doing?
Physically, I'm alive. Mentally, not so much.
They were trapped in her backyard with no way out, a memory she will never forget.
What was going through your mind when you were in the backyard with your kids?
I was gonna, that was the end. I was done. My life was over. I thought that this was the end for us.
And it's not just her. It's a concern for her girls, too.
It crashed right in front of our house and made a big fire and it really scared me. It was like a horror movie.
Regina is worried how it will impact them long term.
How do you get help for a 9-year-old that's seen people burning?
3 people helped Regina and her girls escape. It's a miracle they survived, but the road since has been anything but easy. Regina fell during the escape and spent the night in the hospital.
I went septic, went back to the ER Friday, and they took me in emergency surgery. And
she tells me since then she hasn't had much luck getting answers or assistance. Now in a hotel, they've been told it could be a month before they find a new home.
I just miss home.
Meanwhile, cleanup continued on Sample Street. Burnt cars were towed, power was restored, and streets were washed. But houses still remain empty. The street may be healing, but for Regina's family, the wait is far from over.
It is just reliving the exact same thing that happened. So, it's not something I want to do, but it's something I need to do.
Alex Lai, CBS 8.
We are also learning more about what went wrong on the plane. NTSB investigators say that the weather notification system was not working on Montgomery Field. That's when the pilot was making an approach at around 3:45 a.m. on Thursday. Additionally, the approach lights at the runway that a pilot is supposed to be able to activate remotely have not been working at Montgomery Field since October. This is according to public records. The NTSB confirms the pilot tried to activate the approach lights as he descended. Conditions were foggy that night with less than a half-mile visibility. And our coverage of this small plane crash continues online. You can get the very latest on CBS8.com or follow us on social media. You can also watch all of our coverage on our free streaming channel, CBS 8 Plus. Just search for it, download it on your TV, and watch for free.
Today, of course, is Memorial Day, the nation honoring the lives of U.S. service members who died while serving our country. Later this morning, President Donald Trump will lay a wreath at Arlington National Cemetery. Here in San Diego, the USS Midway Museum will host a wreath-laying ceremony and a missing man flyover. This event begins at 9 a.m. Fort Rosecrans will host a ceremony at 10 this morning, and the Mount Soledad Nationals Veterans Memorial will hold a ceremony at 11 a.m. We could break some records at our local beaches today. We know it got packed over the weekend, and continuing today, lifeguards do tell us Memorial Weekend always one of the busiest times of year for San Diego. This 3-day weekend is proving to be no exception.
And CBS 8's Jenny Day is joining us live from Mission Beach this morning. And Jenny, it was dark a little bit early ago, but now the sun is up a little bit. How are anybody trying to stake out a good spot right now?
I was going to say we have not seen a lot of activity quite yet this morning. Still a little bit too early. No one yet snagging those early parking spots or bonfire pits. But yes, starting to see a little bit more activity here. Can already see some big waves out there. And yes, it is kind of the calm before the storm. Again, quiet at this hour. But San Diego police are already posted up here in the parking lot along the boardwalk in Mission Beach. So you know it is going to be a busy day, no doubt about it. If you are headed to the beach, we are here to help you plan. And that is because there is a beach hazard statement in effect. This is all according to the National Weather Service. So as mentioned, we'll show you the waves at 6:30. It is already looking quite big out here. An elevated surf, we are expecting 2 to 4 foot waves with sets up to 5 feet today, all because of a south swell. So that will be especially true for south-facing beaches. That includes close to us here in South Mission and Silver Strand. This could also mean very high tides, which could create really strong rip currents and therefore dangerous swimming conditions in the ocean. Also, there is the chance of some tidal overflow or coastal flooding in low-lying areas due to the high tide. The best chance of that will be way later into this evening. Excuse me, high tide is expected tonight at 10 p.m. So I really know it has been a little bit windy, a lot of marine layer. It's been very stubborn, but once that does burn off, it is going to be a beautiful day and our beaches are going to be packed. So just be extra mindful if you do get in the water today, and do not panic if you get caught in a rip. Just again, swim parallel with the shore and always swim by a lifeguard tower. Certainly a lot of locals and tourists are out here today.
It's nice. We come from El Paso, Texas, so it's dusty out there, windstorm, so it's nice to get a change of weather.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So if you are not a skilled swimmer, again, just enjoy these extra big waves safely from the shore. And you know it, Memorial Day kind of serves as the unofficial start of summer. So yes, it should be a great day, and both lifeguards and San Diego police will be out in full force patrolling all 40 miles of our beautiful coastline. They tell me they will be enforcing alcohol, again, those bonfire pits and boating to all keep us safe on this Memorial Day and enjoy our freedoms. Guys, back to you. We're reporting this morning from Mission Beach.
All right, Jenny, thank you very much. Bad news for those of you who want to go to the beach in Coronado today. Yeah, this was disappointing for a lot of people yesterday. County leaders are forced to keep people out of the ocean all the way up to Naval Air Station North Island. This is because of unhealthy levels of bacteria from the ongoing Tijuana sewage crisis. That's a bummer for many visitors, disruptive to businesses and residents.
I drove 3 hours from LA to get over here to these beaches. Everyone talks about how wonderful the San Diego coast is, and look at what we come to this beach. We can't even get in the water.
You do see a lot of people still with their towels out, their umbrellas out in Coronado. The EPA recently announced plans to fast-track repairs and expansion to the South Bay wastewater treatment plant. But for people that aren't familiar, it was pretty shocking to them to see those signs.
Oh, it's a good idea to do your research before heading to the beach. All right, today is expected to be a very busy day on the road and at airports as people head home. AAA says the worst time to drive today will be between 4 and 7 p.m. The best travel time is before 2 p.m. And today is also the start of the so-called 100 deadliest days, which is the period between Memorial Day and Labor Day, when AAA says that there's an increase in fatal crashes involving teen drivers. Today, CHP will continue their maximum enforcement, looking for impaired drivers until midnight. And this morning, veterans, active duty military members, and Honda drivers can fill up their gas tank for free. San Diego Honda dealers are paying for the first 100 drivers at 899 Palomar Airport Road in Carlsbad. It's happening from 10 a.m. to noon. And Carlsbad, not going to be a bad place to go visit, especially maybe if you want to get close to the beach today, right, Netta?
Right. I mean, I'm watching this person right there with a surfboard heading right in. It's 6:10 in the morning, and yeah, already quite a few people at our beaches. I know for a lot of surfers that are here in town, this is exciting. The waves are pretty big. We were watching them yesterday. Yeah, really massive. So for those of you who are not as experienced, who may be coming from other parts of the country or the world to San Diego, know these are bigger waves than we're used to seeing, and that's why the Weather Service has issued this beach hazard statement. Lifeguards have been extremely busy this weekend, rescue after rescue, which is why we can't mention this enough, that you want to really ask lifeguards the safest place to be, where your kids should get out there and swim. Of course, avoid those rip currents. Find out where they are if you can't see them. Looking at the expiration here, this is until tomorrow morning. So all day today, our really busy day at our beaches, we have that hazard statement issued by the Weather Service. Surf heights 2 to 4 footers with the potential of 5 feet waves, 65 degrees in the water, and we do have no major change between high and low tide during the day, but at 10 o'clock tonight, there's a chance for coastal flooding. Our tide's going to get all the way up to near 7 feet, so that could flood over some of the low-lying boardwalks, parking lots. Right now, you're waking up to 62 degrees downtown, Chula Vista 60, 58 for Santee. Over the next 12 hours, here you go, by 9, 10 o'clock, as you're starting to maybe head out into the water, 65 degrees at the coast. Upper 60s to 70 degrees. That's mainly for our beaches. Coronado 71, IB 66. Inland, it will be warmer, mid to upper 70s. Checking in on traffic, of course, it is Memorial Day, a holiday. Many people are off at work, perhaps, school, no schools in session, at least not for San Diego Unified. So I don't see much traffic. There is this crash, there was a stalled vehicle right there, but that has since been moved. So all clear there, no backup. And then this crash in Ramona. This is on Olive Street at 78 Pine Street. Chris? Oh, excuse me, border wait times. There you go. That's pretty good. San Ysidro Port of Entry, we're used to seeing these numbers way higher. 30 minutes to get through. Otay Mesa will only take you 5 minutes.